Hey, peeps, you have entered the Unstuck Yourself with Crystal Simmons podcast, where I have intentional conversations that raises your awareness, which releases your innate abilities and leads you to purposeful action. You know there's more to life and you're worthy of it, and yet you feel stuck. This is your sign. Unstuck yourself with me, Crystal Simmons, certified coach, corporate facilitator, and dope human being. I'll be here every week. Will you? Hey, peeps. Oh, I so appreciate y'all. You press play on the Unstuck Yourself with Crystal Simmons podcast and the first episode of season 2. That's the breath of appreciation and just overly satisfaction. And I'm nervous because it's been a minute and I'm just in awe that we are making it to season 2. But I want it to be known that I don't take this energy lightly of you hitting play, you're listening and sharing it, and then hitting me up and telling me what you appreciate from each episode or just the show itself. So thank you. I'm Crystal Simmons. For our new peeps joining us today, you might be asking, who am I? Which is a very fitting question to ask. And I am me. And me is she. And she is me. And we are we. You got it? Basically, it's complicated. But if your brain wants to put me in a little box, it's your loss. I'll appease your request for shits and giggles. Oh, and we do curse on this podcast ever so often, just using colorful words. Sometimes I might not use colorful words. It's a surprise. I am a beacon of light. I am the queen of questions. I'm forever curious, a multi-dimensional homie who happens to be an insightful and funny podcast host. I'm a certified professional coach and a corporate facilitator. Now, while these are but a few of the things that describe pieces of me and basically how I present myself, I wonder who you are. If I were to ask you the same question, who are you? Where would that take you? What would be your response? And how accurate would that answer be for you a year later or 2 years later? We're in the new year, 2023. I definitely feel like I'm constantly changing, learning and unlearning, trying new things, going back to the old thing that I knew was me, but then second guess myself, triple guess myself, quadruple guess myself, allow other people to label me who I am, allow other people to see me a certain way. And I'm like, fuck that. So who am I? I am me. Long story short. Sometimes I regret things along the way. I experience all of these things, and at the same time, in various situations, to just say, what the fuck? What am I doing? Why am I doing this? Do I even want to do this? Which brings us to a quick Crystaltown update where, you know, it's the new year, it's 2023, and I can't say that I envisioned where I would be for 2023. I will say the feelings I'm holding strong to and I'm prioritizing, which is the sense of flying. I chose the word fly to be my word because that's what came to me. I've been doing a lot of meditating, speaking to my guides, my spirits, praying, sitting quietly, trusting that I am not doing all of this on my own, that I have a collective of energy and spirits and humans and homies and peeps that allow me to do what I do and do it well. And the word came to me was fly, and my immediate reaction was like, ew, like the housefly. I was like, what is that? And that's my judgment part. And I have been raising the awareness of what I judge. Why is that word so bad? And why was my reaction like physical of ugh? having the noise, having the facial expression of disgust. And then I remembered what flying means to me, what it feels like. It's freeing, it's peaceful. And the things that are on my pleasure list that encompasses that feeling of flying or fly, it is riding my bike, playing on swings, being near the water or being on water, and meditating sometimes. This feels like I'm floating, I'm flying. So Crystaltown update. Crystaltown update is keeping things simple and prioritizing that feeling. If I don't feel that, then question, why am I doing whatever it is that I'm doing? Do I have to do this? Is this something that someone else around me is better equipped to do because they have more time, better equipped to do because they have, extensive skills or advanced skills than me? It could be anything. Why do I have to do it? And it goes back to me wanting to control things unconsciously. If people were to told me I'm a control freak or I like control, I'm like, no. But then I would actually see the examples over and over and over. It's like, here you are. So releasing that control and just flying. And that really encompasses Crystaltown Update. And we're going to move to a new segment that is tried and true to be helpful, to be purposeful, and awareness increasing. So I'm going to try it, and y'all are going to be truthful about your experience with it. You got it? You got it. It is called Crystal Clear Purposes segment. And we're going to highlight the purpose of this week's episodes. It's an overview for those who are like, what am I getting out of this episode? I got you. The Crystal Clear Purposes segment is a play on my company, my business, Crystal Clear Purposes, where I believe we have multiple purposes depending on us changing, us evolving, expanding into more of who we are. We can have one, but I feel like there's so many different purposes in our life: personal, career, friendship, living itself. Yes. So the first purpose we're making crystal clear is that we cannot read your mind. The second purpose is feelings don't last forever. And you can also accompany that with feelings aren't facts. And that statement makes me feel some kind of way because it's almost dismissing or disregarding your feelings. And you do feel them. You do experience them. So to say they're not facts and just throw away, you might have heard it that way. So that's why I'm sharing it. But the second purpose is feelings don't last forever. And the third purpose is the more you heal, the more you feel. 2022 had me feeling my feelings. I have talked about this on extensive occasions within the podcast, multiple episodes woven in of feel your feelings, feel your feelings. To not feel them is to deny them. It is to disregard them. It is to not acknowledge the power that lies in feeling those feelings and experiencing those feelings. Those feelings are not you, but you are experiencing them, and that is what makes us human. So those are our top three crystal clear purposes for today's episode. And it's going to be given to you like this. We're going to do a different approach because why not? It's a new year. And this is our segment of Here's a Story. In this segment, I will share stories of my own and some of other homies and other peeps, but they will actually be anonymous. That way we can allow you the chance to use your imagination. So as you're listening to the segment, Here's a Story, where do you see yourself in these stories? Maybe you're not even in some of these stories. Maybe you're in all of the segment, Here's a Story. Either one is not better than the other, and sharing stories and examples of random peeps encourages you to be curious rather than judgmental. And being judgmental, like I spoke about earlier, it leads to stress. So when we recognize that we are judging things as good and bad, or right or wrong, or black and white, this or that, you can acknowledge like, oh, where's a different way to look at it? Instead of having the one or the other, add a third perspective, a fourth perspective, a fifth perspective. And that's what the segment Here's the Story is encouraging you to do. Have that multiple dimensional perspective so that you're not tied and gripping hard to one versus the other. There's a lot of gray in there. So in thinking and judgment, increasing your stress levels, it reinforces the black and white thinking, or I'm right, you're wrong thinking, which limits your creativity. It limits your joy, your quality of life, and so much more. And today's Here's a Story invites that curious kid that is still within all of us. Okay? So here's the story for today's episode. It's a week before Christmas, and you're feeling excited that things are looking up. You're voicing your opinions at work. They're being received from your coworkers as in a collaborative effort instead of being judgy or coming from an energy of you have to do this, we need to do this. And you're noticing that you deserve more and you're asking for it without the feeling of guilt of wanting more. It's now rather exciting because you, from a year ago, would have been so nervous and hesitant to just ask and hope for the best. Even though there was this sense of there's no way they will give me what I want, it feels different this time for you. So you're asking and looking at other options. If you didn't get it, and that has you feeling confident that you had that homie demanding shit, but not wanting to receive it, still moving forward, creating the outcome you want, you receive a raise, you receive a job offer, and then a few days later, there's a sense of, what the fuck? Everything was going so, quote unquote, well. Everything was going, quote unquote, good. Feeling and experiencing sadness, loneliness, uncertainty. And you think, oh, it's just this day. Like, the other days were good, but this day, it's just feeling heavy. Tomorrow will be better. Nope. It's still there. You meditate, you read the books, you pray, and still, blah. You're feeling blah. It's a holiday season though. You're always happy. You're always joyful. You're always grateful. And you are, but this feels different. You begin feeling like there's something wrong with you because you feel this way. Like, am I ungrateful? Did I F up? Did I do something wrong? And then you begin isolating yourself from your family, your friends, not to, quote unquote, put a damper on their moods, or you're feeling like you don't want to explain your mood to them because this is not how you usually are. This isn't me. But it is. Isn't it? The feelings get stronger. Nothing is helping until you tell someone out loud, I feel blah. I feel lonely. I feel off. Even though off isn't a feeling, you start with the easiest phrase you can. I feel off. The people you tell love you, so they do their best, and their best is trying to fix you, hoping to change you. This is all done unconsciously. The reality you're experiencing, which then feels like they are dismissing your current experience, your current feelings, your current state. And you tell yourself, see, they see what I see. I shouldn't have been feeling this way. So not only are you shooting on yourself, internally, you think your loved ones are shooting on you too. You finally notice this is getting darker and deeper. So you begin to accept what is occurring. Being consistent on sharing your feelings and then sharing how you wish to be supported during this uncomfortable time, this foreign time, this unknown time. Like spending time alone on Christmas, not going to everyone's house, showing up chipper, masking the current reality you're experiencing. Because it's what you've always done. You're not trying to buy the best presents for everyone because you don't even know what that is for your damn self. You accept the discomfort. You accept that speaking about it is just as uncomfortable, and it eases the heaviness of the feelings you're experiencing. You pause on trying to change the present and accept the newness of all of it. You have that slow, intentional conversation, which includes you feeling your feelings before you respond or you react. Like if someone asking scratch that. Like someone saying, Merry Christmas or Happy New Year. How are you? Oh, I'm fine. Instead of saying that, you say, I'm feeling a little off. You say, life is lifing. And I'm feeling off. And I'm accepting it. You correct yourself mid-sentence to paint an image of your current reality and ask your loved ones to respect you by offering suggestions of what you need. Like, I just want you to listen. I don't want you to try to fix anything. Can you just sit with me as we watch TV, as we cry, as we bake cookies, as we eat? You also might notice some of your suggestions could be quietness, affirming, a hug, attention, prayers, and connection. Whatever you need, you ask. And even if they are confused, even if they are taken back, you trust yourself that you can explain it another way. But you never back down or say, just forget it, or never mind. You do not should on them or yourself by thinking, they should know how I feel. I already told them once. How should they know? They aren't mind readers. No one is. And the more you remember that, the less we should on ourselves or others, we keep our stress low. Lower the shoulds, lower the stress. And once they get it, they truly love you. They will give it back. As soon as they find the thing that clicks and like, oh, I could do that for you, you'll receive that abundance back. And you staying true to you, allowing yourself to feel your feelings, you recognize that your feelings aren't permanent. They are forever changing. None are good or bad. They serve a purpose by getting our attention to ask us, is this what I want? Like seriously, You've been doing this for decades. Is it serving you today, though? You've been that beacon of light for so many people. Who is a beacon of light for you? When have you allowed people to do that for you? It starts now. Are you receiving the love, support, and affirmation you seek? Because the truth of this life is that it will keep lifing. And in noticing that the more we heal and the more we feel, you are healing. In the moments of feeling your feelings, you're healing. You're doing it. You're going to get to the other side. Our feelings can be our check engine light for our current perspective or viewpoint in life. Just because the check engine light goes off on the car, it doesn't mean the car is bad or it needs to be like impounded and just trash for parts. It's just trying to get your attention. We made our purposes crystal clear today in this episode. I ask you to take what resonated with you and release what didn't. Number 1, we can't read your mind. Number 2, feelings don't last forever. Thank God. And number 3, the more you heal, the more you feel. It is your check engine light. It is your saving grace. It is your chance to reduce your stress and feed your body what you want. Sending you love as a beacon of light to invite your purposes to become crystal clear. Stuck moments appear where awareness is feared. Join others and unstuck yourself here. Fly free, peeps.